So, for tiers, we have certified classic. So, whatever show appears on here is a certified bona fide classic in my very own eyes, as well as the eyes of many people around. We have really good. It's just a really good show. Not quite the best, but it performs adequately, and it is very cherished in the hearts of many. We got a right eye and to decent. You know, it's not really anybody's favorite, but you can't call it bad because, you know, it's more than what it's just not bad. And we got Poopy Doggy Water. Poopy Doggy Water, you know, it's just your shit. You're not a good show. You're terrible. Nobody likes you. And you should probably kill yourself. Now we have a new category. I forgot last time to put in a never ate there category when it comes to fast food, because I didn't factor that into the places that I haven't eaten at. So for this time around, we're going to include shows that I have never seen or heard of. And believe me, there's going to be a lot that show up. Alright, starting off our tier list, we got Two Stupid Dogs. Now, some of you may not know this show, but this show came around a lot when I was watching Boomerang and the Boomerang period. Man, those were the days. Two Stupid Dogs, I mean, for a classic show, I like the people that were involved with the show. A lot of talented people that ended up doing amazing work later in the network. You know, Gennady Tartakovsky, Craig McCracken. I'm forgetting some other names, but a lot of very talented people ended up working on other stuff. And, you know, this show by itself, it was okay. It wasn't terrible. It wasn't great. I'm gonna put it decent. 16. 16, 16. Gotta make the good times last. I remember that theme song a lot. I remember watching the show a lot. Yeah. I don't know. 16 was alright. It's better than two Stupid Dogs. Do I want to put it in really good though? Like, it was fun. I remember having a lot of fun watching the show. I liked the main characters. It's a Canadian cartoon, and it's one of the better Canadian cartoons actually. But do I want to put it in really good though? I mean, I remember. Okay, I'm gonna put it. Yeah, I don't feel comfortable putting it in really good. I'm gonna put it above Two Stupid Dogs though, because I don't know why it doesn't let me do that. But I'm gonna put it above Two Stupid Dogs because I have fonder memories watching that over the other show. A Pup Named Scooby-Doo. Probably the best Scooby-Doo spinoff that isn't related to like the main, like it's the younger it's one of the better shows that tackle the younger kid concept. Well, because we're gonna get into that later, pretty soon actually, with another show that's gonna show up. Like when there's gonna be like shows like Yo Yogi and Baby Tom and Jerry. Those shows don't really understand why there's the younger younger characters that are supposed to be like adults. That doesn't really work most of the time. For this show, it really does work because, you know, it's a bunch of kids finding out mysteries, and it's fun. And I'm gonna put A Pup Named Scooby-Doo in really good. It's not a certified classic. It's a very 80s show. In fact, I don't think it's like real. The only reason why it's a part of it because Scooby-Doo's associated with Cartoon Network, and they played a lot on Boomerang. Man, but yeah, man, that show was really good. I really enjoyed it. Adventure Time. Oh boy. Okay, Adventure Time is gonna be one of those shows that I'm gonna get lynched for. Don't get me wrong, I really like Adventure Time. I do. Had such a cultural impact in terms of like what Cartoon Network was, and not just Cartoon Network, but what cartoons were in general. It was like the start of like a lot of things, and it was such a special show at the time when it aired, like 2010, 2011, 2012, around that time when the show was really getting popular. You know, it didn't matter if you like. It was just, if you were a kid or not. I've seen a lot of adults watch this show, and you know, felt connected to it, and you know, that's great. It's just when the show kept going on, like season 4 or 5, I stopped watching like season 3, like 4, 5, 6. Like the writing wasn't as good, and that could be due to many of the like the showrunners that started from season 1 leaving the show later on. You know, it just wasn't as special as it was, and that really and that's gonna be a theme that shows up a lot in these shows. But Adventure Time is one of the best shows that appeared on the network. Do I want to put it in certified classic though? It was only good like the last 3 seasons, and I guess you could say like maybe it was picking up a little bit, but I don't know. I don't think I could comfortably put it in really good. Or no, sorry, certified classic. I'm gonna have to put it in really good. It's better than A Pup Named Scooby-Doo, I'll tell you that much, but that's gonna get the comments. That's gonna give me comments, like not good ones, but damn. Almost Naked Animals. This was a show that aired on Cartoon Network. That's what I will say. And it's going in poopy dog water because I remember it being so bad. Oh my god, it's gonna be a theme. There's gonna be a theme when it comes to these, where it's a lot of shows that you watch, but you don't like watching. You just watch it because there's nothing else on TV. Like Nickelodeon isn't premiering anything. They're not showing an episode of SpongeBob. And Disney's not showing an episode of Wizards of Waverly Place or something like that. Almost Naked Animals was on, and that was a really dark time in Cartoon Network. And, like, shows like this showed up. You didn't want to be a kid at that time. Amazing World of Gumball. This show got better as it ran because the early seasons of Gumball, they were pretty decent, but you know, this show elevated. It got better. It got funnier. It got way funnier. But it alienated a lot of people, but I loved it. I loved Amazing World of Gumball, and I'm one of the few people that actually liked it from the beginning, and it progressively got better. So you know what? I'm gonna put it in certified classic. I just said that. Gumball is a certified classic. The first show we have in a certified classic isn't like a classic show. No, it's a show that's relatively new or relatively recent. So yes, I believe that this show is a certified classic, and I'm gonna probably show this to my kids when I get older. So yeah, Baby Looney Tunes. Okay, I remember watching Baby Looney Tunes. I don't remember a lot of it though. I remember watching it one day. I remember seeing it. But like, I mean, it's all right. It's all, like this is what I was saying before. When it comes to like making the characters younger, like babies, it's not as like special as you know if you're gonna prefer watching like the old Looney Tunes to this Looney Tunes, of course you're gonna pick the old Looney Tunes because they're funny. Not to say that this show wasn't funny, I just don't remember it, and I don't think a lot of people remember it, and you know that's just what I think. Batman Beyond is really, really good. Am I gonna put it in certified classic? It's a certified classic. Batman Beyond, I love the style. I love I just love it. I mean, I love, you know, Terry McGinnis, an old Bruce Wayne. It's so dope. It's badass. It's great. I love it. And the cast of characters, the cast of villains, they're really interesting. I love it. This show's great. Batman Brave and the Bold. Okay, I remember seeing it. It's just Batman teaming up with a bunch of other DC superheroes and sometimes villains, which is pretty cool, I guess. It's just all right with me. It's better than Two Stupid Dogs. I don't think it's as good as 16. But there was some good moments with this show. I'm not gonna lie. Oh boy, so we're gonna have to go through all the Ben 10 shows. Oh Jesus. Okay, so the original Ben 10 back in like 2008, that show was a certified classic. I remember wanting a watch. I wanted the Omnitrix. I wanted to turn into an alien. I wanted to be Accelerate. Accelerate's like my favorite alien. and I just wanted to be I just wanted to be like a superhero. I was like a kid, I was wanted to be a superhero. And Ben 10, he was a kid, he was a superhero, he was saving people, he was fighting these like aliens and criminals and all that. It was so dope. Ben 10, the original series, was amazing. Ben 10 Alien Force is when I kind of dropped off. I didn't like how serious it was. Because I was stupid. I was a kid. I only wanted to see aliens and fights. I appreciate this, like, the series. Like, sometimes they talk about, like, more mature topics. The show is definitely aimed at a more older audience compared to what the other show was. I just didn't see it as, like, as exciting or as thrilling as the original Ben 10 was. But it's still it's still pretty good. I'm gonna put Ben 10 Alien Force in really good. Probably above A Pup Named Scooby-Doo. Ben 10 Ultimate Alien. It's like the same show. It's like the same show as Alien Force. It's just like a sequel series. So I'm gonna put it right next to it. Ben 10 Omniverse. Okay, I just like. What do I do with this show? This show I don't actually remember seeing at all, so I'm gonna put never seen. Although I don't really have a reason to. Because like at that point I was like completely done with Ben 10. The new Ben 10 show is Poopy Doggy Water. Oh my god, man, that show, the alien designs, they're so bad. They're so bad, man. Why? I mean, they ruined Stinkfly's design. Stinkfly looks like this, and then they changed it to this. Come on, man. Oh my god, bro. Alright, Camp Laszlo. Camp Laszlo, I feel like it gets a bad rep. I remember liking Camp Laszlo a lot. It's not as popular as the show, as the, you know, the creator's previous show, which was Rocko's Modern Life, but it's still pretty good, man. It's like, it's really funny. It's really good. They got a lot of characters that I like. I like Laszlo, Raj, Clam. They're all funny characters. I'm not gonna lie. I'm gonna put it in really good. Captain Planet. It's harmless. It's fine. It's kind of preachy with its message, even though the message is well intentioned. It's good. It's all right. Better than Baby Looney Tunes, better than Two Stupid Dogs. Not as good as the Batman though. The Batman. Yeah, well, I'll just leave it at that. Chowder and Gumball are both one of the funniest shows I've ever watched on Cartoon Network. It's up there with SpongeBob as one of the funniest cartoons I've ever seen. Like, there's so many like fourth wall break jokes that it rivals. Like, I mean, it's crazy. Like, Jesus. Chowder's one of the funniest shows ever.
Hello, what about me?
No, you're not in this episode.
It ended on a pretty good note. It ended with Chowder, spoilers, but it ended with Chowder like growing up, but it did it in a way where it was like appropriate and like, oh yeah, this is definitely how I see it ended. You know, I like the way things turned out. But yeah, Chowder's one of the funniest shows. It's a certified classic. It's one of the best shows. Clearance. I remember liking this show when it actually came out, believe it or not. I thought it was like it was sort of realistic because it was a bunch of kids just kind of hanging out. It wasn't anything like, oh, they have to go to a mysterious land like Adventure Time, or there isn't like fourth wall break jokes like Gumball, or the whole world isn't crashing down on itself like some episodes of regular show, which we'll get to. It was just kind of simple, and I liked it. But the episodes can get pretty boring sometimes, and you know, the show kind of deteriorated a little bit after that. So, yeah, the Clarence was just kind of all right. Put it over Baby Looney Tunes though. Captain Planet was better. Class of 3000. I remember watching this show, and I know this is one of those shows that people remember, but they don't remember a lot. I don't feel comfortable rating it, so I'm gonna put it in a show that, even though I've seen it, I haven't watched it enough to really remember it. So I'm just going to put it where Ben 10 Omniverse is. K&D is one of the best shows ever. It's one of the best cartoons ever. Oh my god, man. I wanted to be a kid. Like, the same thing with Ben 10 where I wanted to be, like, I wanted to, like, have the watch. I wanted the Omnitrix. I wanted to be a Kids Next Door operative. And who knows? Maybe I am. Maybe because the whole lore, there's a lot of lore in this show. But the whole point of, like, a bunch of kids kind of teaming up and tackling on these, like adults and other stuff, you know, it's so cool. And I wanted to be like that when I was a kid. But it just, like... It's so good. And who knows, I probably was a Kids Next Door operative. Maybe they erased my mind or something. You can't prove that didn't happen. Courage the Cowardly Dog. It's a show that I've grown to appreciate a lot more. It's a certified classic. I didn't realize I remember liking the show a lot when I was a kid, but it wasn't a show that I didn't really grow to appreciate until I got older. And I just really love it. I love the show. I love how scary it can be sometimes, but also there's a lot of episodes where it's also really, like, heartwarming, and you grow to love these characters. You love Courage. You love Muriel. Rest in peace, the voice actor, by the way. And Eustace, who I believe his voice actor's already passed away. So rest in peace to him as well. It's just such a great show. It's a classic. It's a certified classic through and through. Cow and Chicken, on the other hand, that is going in poopy doggy water. Even if you're like a hardcore Cartoon Network fan, you can't, like, Cow and Chicken is not it. It's just not. There's a lot of, like, I don't like the character designs. I don't like a lot of the jokes. Like, it's not funny. There's this red guy who acts like a pervert most of the time, and it's just not fun. It's really not. It's poopy doggy water. Craig of the Creek. I actually enjoy a little bit of Craig of the Creek from the episodes that I've seen. It's a pretty alright show. I don't really like some of the character designs if I was a little picky with it, but it's pretty alright. If anything, I'd put it above Batman Virgin Bold. DC Superhero Girls. I've seen a little bit. It's fine. It's you know, it does its job. It's made for, like, that, you know, little girl crowd who, you know, doesn't really feel represented where most of the superhero shows, it features a mostly male audience. It does its job serving, you know, that demographic. And I'll put it, like, in the middle. I'll put it, like, where Craig of the Creek is. It does its job. Dexter's Laboratory. Dexter's Laboratory is good. It's a classic, but I don't know. Like, it's good, but, like, I wanted more out of it. Like, Dexter's Laboratory, it's simple show. It's really good. It does its job. You know, the characters are classic. Dexter, Dee Dee, Mandark. Mandark's really funny. Dexter's mom, Dexter's dad are also funny characters. It's just a classic show, classic Cartoon Network, and you can't beat that. It's going into really good, up there with Adventure Time. The only reason why it's not a certified classic, in my opinion, is because the rest of the series didn't really end, you know, in the best ways. Ed, Edd n Eddy, however, Ed, Edd n Eddy is a certified classic. If this is what Clarence is, like, trying to be, Ed, Edd n Eddy's are just a bunch of friends doing mundane tasks in a really, really funny way, where, like, really, like, some of the expressions are really funny, the gags are really funny, a bunch of classic characters. All the Eds, Double D, Eddie, Ed, they're all fun characters. Even the side characters have a lot to do. The Kanker sisters are, like, first of all, a little rapey, but, you know, they're classic. We got Kevin, Naz, Rolf. Rolf is so funny. We got Jimmy, Johnny with Blake. That whole gag is hilarious, man. It's just a great show, and they had a pretty good movie to end it off with. So that, yeah, I recommend Ed, Edd n Eddy. Ed, Edd n Eddy is a classic. Foster's, oh my god, one classic to another. Foster's is amazing. Foster's is great. Certified classic. When anything Craig McCracken does is just like gold. I think he's like one of the most Gennady Tartakovsky's great. Don't get me wrong. But like Craig McCracken, when he touches, like when he does anything with the show, man, it's just so good. I love Mac, Blue, even though Blue's kind of a dick sometimes. I love him. Wilt, Eduardo, Coco, Frankie. Oh my God, all these characters are like, they're classic. They're staples in my mind. I love them. As you can probably tell, I was a Cartoon Network kid, so I grew to love all these characters when growing up. Even the side characters that don't do a lot, like Cheese. Cheese is such a weird character, but like I just love having Cheese. It's just classic. It's classic, man. The Garfield Show. Oh my God, man. This show is terrible. This is a show that you get punished for watching. And they used to show this show a lot. I remember when they had marathons of this show playing, and it was so bad. This is what I was talking about when it came to the dark times. This is the dark era of Cartoon Network, where they showed nonstop episodes of Garfield.
John, I brought Odie back.
Generator X. Generator X, I mean, I like people. I know people who have watched this show, and they've said that it was really good. I really don't remember watching this show a whole lot. I don't really remember seeing it. It probably is good. It's just I haven't gotten around to watching it, and it just doesn't really interest me as much. George of the Jungle. This is also another show that I used to play nonstop on Cartoon Network. That ended abruptly, but it kind of needed to. It was just poopy doggy water. It was so bad, man. So bad. The Grim Adventures of Billy and Mandy is classic. Certified classic. I like Cartoon Network. I mean, Jesus, look at how many certified classics there are. Jesus, that's just how good Cartoon Network is. Back in the day, back in like mid-2000s, Cartoon Network, 2004, 5, 6... those were the golden years. That was the golden era of Cartoon Network. Look at how many shows there are. Jesus, man. 2007, 8, around that time, Cartoon Network was God. And to be honest, it's still God for me. Billy and Mandy, Grimm, Fred Burger. There's so many classic characters, bro. It's just so good. The humor's it's not to mention it's funny, and it's great, man. It's great. I recommend it. I Am Weasel. This was like this used to show alongside Cow and Chicken. It's better than Cow and Chicken, but like not by much. It's alright. I don't really remember a whole lot of it, but I remember it's better than Cow and Chicken. They used to premiere it side by side. Infinity Train. Okay. Now I'm going to get lynched. If you guys didn't like what I said about Adventure Time, you're not going to like what I say about Infinity Train. Not only have I never seen it, I don't think I ever will. Because if it's a show that ever gets, like... And don't get me wrong. This show, from what I've seen, like the little clips I've seen of it, it looks really good. I just don't think I'll ever watch this show because it got canceled. And when it, like, if you leave a story unfinished, then I'm gonna be dissatisfied with what I have, because all I have is an unfinished puzzle piece. Because that's what the show is. It has an overarching plot that just never is gonna get, finished because they canceled it too early. So now I'm stuck with this unfinished puzzle piece that I'll never be able to finish because the show was canceled way too early. Johnny Bravo. Yeah, the biggest simp in Cartoon Network history, probably in cartoon history, but we'll get to that. But it's funny, it's good, it does its job. It's probably the best decent show. Probably just good. It's just good. Johnny Bravo's a pretty good show. Johnny Test, the other Johnny, the redheaded, flame-headed stepchild of Cartoon Network, the show that kept airing non-stop episodes day in and day out. Marathons of the show. I remember when they played the shit out of that. This show, I remember first thinking it was good. Now I just don't even like it at all. Now it's just poopy doggy water. It used to be alright with me, but now I just don't even like it. The Justice League shows. Unlimited and the regular Justice League, they're kind of the same to me. So I apologize if I haven't really, if I'm not doing it justice. But these shows were great. These shows were fantastic. Oh my god, man. Justice League Unlimited and the regular series, they're classics. And I realize now that it's getting crowded. Very, very, very crowded. Yeah, Crypto's great. Crypto is a good show. The theme song's one of the best. I remember watching this a lot. They played a lot on Boomerang now. But yeah, man, where do I put Crypto? Crypto's in like really good. I have never watched an episode of Juniper Lee, and I see this show a lot. I saw this show shown a lot in the bumpers of Cartoon Network, where they were all in a city and they all kind of populated this one place. By the way, that was a cool commercial set of commercials. That was really cool. But I have just never gotten a chance to ever see this show. And from what I remember, was canceled, so I probably will never get a chance to really watch it, or I don't know. The show just didn't really interest me, even if it was canceled. So I just have never seen the show. The Looney Tunes show. Okay, this show is just underrated, man. This show I remember not a lot of people liking when it first came out. But come on, man, this show was funny, man. It was so good. This is what Baby Looney Tunes was like, kind of trying to be like, kind of like having its own identity besides Looney Tunes. But it really couldn't get past that. This show tried to do something different. Like Looney Tunes show tried to do something different with its characters. They had like, it's sort of like a sitcom setting with like Bugs and Daffy sharing a house, being roommates, and they're getting into a bunch of wacky antics while like having this like toned down cartooniness and more in favor of a more, I don't know, mature sense of humor when it came to its humor. Even though it's still the Looney Tunes, it has its own identity. It's just a really good show. It's not a classic to me, but I really enjoyed it when I watched it. I liked what they did with Lola Bunny, this character in Space Jam with no personality. It was a really fun, really like funny character in the Looney Tunes show. So yeah, I really liked what they did with Lola and a bunch of the other characters too. And not to mention, some of the songs were just funny as hell. There's always there's this segment in the Looney Tunes show where in the middle of an episode they premiere a song, and some of them are just funny as hell. There's this one episode where like Elmer Fudd is eating a cheese sandwich, and it's the funniest thing. It's the most weirdest shit, but it's the funniest thing. Mad tried way too hard. I can't believe these words are coming out of my mouth. It's like if you give the Nostalgia Critic his own show. It's a bunch of like random celebrity references aimed at like 6-year-olds, because that's what that was the main demographic of Cartoon Network. It's not a good show, and it wasn't funny. It's still not funny. A lot of the animation is kind of shit, if I'm gonna be honest with you. Flapjack used to scare a lot of kids when they were little, and it kind of disturbed me a little bit. It was alright, but I feel like it's not as good as like, Chowder, because this premiered around the same time. It wasn't as good, but I still kind of enjoyed it. It's pretty alright. Mighty Magisword, I know what it is, but I've never watched it. Like I know, I think it's like a brother and sister, and they get a bunch of swords and they go on a bunch of quests, but like I've never really watched the show, so I can't say I've seen it. Mixels, also another show I haven't watched. This was a series that like got promoted a lot, and I think it was like sponsored by Lego, but I just never watched it. It never really interested me. The Moxie Show. Okay, so nobody's watched this show, and I haven't watched this show. I've never seen this show, but this is a show that is mostly lost media, and most of the episodes are lost. And this was supposed to be actually the first show that ever appeared on Cartoon Network. This was like Cartoon Network's baby, and this is what led to other shows. But I'm gonna have to put it never seen or never heard because nobody's ever seen it. I don't have an excuse because I've never seen it. I can't even watch it even if I wanted to because most of the episodes are gone. They're not publicly accessible. Lucha Lucha. This show was like my bop. I remember watching episodes of this show. I just don't remember I don't remember any of them. I'm sorry. But from what I remember, it was pretty good. It was pretty enjoyable. Lucha Lucha's going into like decent. My gym partner's a monkey. This is like, okay, so this show is weird because it premiered at a time where like there was a bunch of classics, and occasionally you're gonna get a dud when you premiere a bunch of shows that are looked favorably in the eyes of many. This is my gym partner's a monkey is a dud. A lot of the characters are kind of forgettable. It's not really that funny. The main character is accidentally transferred over to the school full of animals, even though they never find out why. And he's kind of bullied every episode, and it's not really that funny. So it's just not really that good of a show. Yeah, it might be poopy doggy water. It might be poopy. It's not as bad as the other shows. I gotta organize this, do I? Oh, jeez. They're all bad. They're all bad shows, I'll say that. The Lego Ninjago show. Oh my god, man. I used to be kind of obsessed with this show when I was, like, in 5th grade. Because, like, this was really popular. The lore behind this show is kind of crazy. This show has, like, character arcs and, like, overarching, like, stories that have, like, meaning, and it's kind of lit. I'm not gonna lie to you. Lego Ninjago is kind of lit. It's kind of good. I'm gonna put it in really good. Lego Ninjago is better than Alien Force. I said what I said. Okay, KO. This came out at around a time where I stopped watching Cartoon Network. I wasn't watching this show, but from what I've seen, it looks pretty good. It ended properly, so I might actually get a chance to watch it. Over the Garden Wall. This show has a lot of praise. A lot of people like it. A lot of people love it. They've seen it. I just have never watched it. I've never watched this show. And I get it. Hold on, I get it. It's really good. I just have never watched it. The only time I really feel like it is appropriate to watch is around the fall. I will get around to it probably this year. That's one of the main goals I have for the new year. I want to watch Over the Garden Wall. I heard nothing but acclaim and positive stuff about it. I will watch it eventually. But for now, I just have never seen it. The original Powerpuff Girls. The Powerpuff Girls is going into classic. This, if oh my god, Powerpuff Girls, if Candy didn't exist, like, that would have been my favorite show. Powerpuff Girls is a classic. It's just a bunch of it's just three sisters fighting crime together, and it's kind of simple, kind of like, it's like that, you know, but like, it's just good. It's just a fun show, and probably it's Craig McCracken's magnum opus. This is like his baby, and I love it. I love and I used to, like, I'm not gonna lie, I kind of wanted to be a Powerpuff Girl. The new Powerpuff Girls show is actual doggy water. Like, actually might be the worst thing I've ever seen. They had an episode where they had these shows. The Powerpuff Girls are supposed to be kindergartners, and they were twerking. What? One of the worst shows I've ever seen. One of the worst reboots ever. One of the worst. Why? The Problem Solvers. This show hurt my eyes every time I looked at the screen. Why did they think it was a good idea to air this show? My eyes, they probably get seizures. I know probably a lot of kids got seizures from watching this show. Regular show. One of the best shows on Cartoon Network, period. Probably the best show that they had throughout the decade in the 2010s. This show is going down as one of the best Cartoon Network shows of all time, and it's a certified classic. I know a lot more adults now that like regular show than kids do, and I know a lot of kids who like regular show. Now this show is just great. Mordecai, Rigby, Benson, Pops, Muscle Man, Skips, High Five Ghosts. Oh my god, countless like classic. I keep saying I'm gonna say that word a lot. I'm almost gonna sound like a broken record. It's classic. They're amazing characters. They're fun. They get a lot of development in the show, and it ends in a way where it ends in a really positive way. It ends in a way where spoilers, Pops dies, but it ends in a way where it's kind of uplifting and like kind of all these characters got ended off positively. Is great. Like Benson in the show is like starts off as this really mean boss, but he ends up being kind of a chill dude, and it's really dope. It's nice to see that character development. Robot Boy. Now, this is a show I think I'm one of the few that actually remember watching it, and then I got really like confused that nobody really remembered it, because I remember watching this show a lot as a kid. This show was dope. This show was pretty good. It's up there. I'm gonna put it, but like it's not as good as. No, I'm gonna put it above it. I'm gonna put it above it. Why not? It's my list. What you gonna do? Samurai Jack. I remember watching this show. It was good. A lot of people really like it. It's good. It does its job. I haven't watched the entire series. I still have to watch season 5, which is like the best according to some people, and it's a lot like the tonal change is different as well. I'll eventually get to it. Samurai Jack though is a classic in many people's eyes. I respect the artistry, right? This is supposed to be Gennady Tartakovsky's magnum opus. I think it's really good. Maybe the best really good show that they have. That's a hot take for me. I didn't put it in classic. Sue me. Do whatever you want. Scooby-Doo Mystery Incorporated. This show is like, it's the darkest I've ever seen Scooby-Doo go. Like they tackle a lot of things they don't usually do in a normal Scooby-Doo show, because it's like the regular Scooby-Doo programming is just they discover like a monster is terrorizing something, and whoop-de-doo, the monster turns out to be old man Jenkins, and he's like, I'll get you meddling kids. But this show does something different and adds like Scooby-Doo lore into this. Like it gets really weird, and I kind of like it. I like how like in depth it goes. I'm gonna be straight up. This is really good. Secret Mountain Fort, awesome. Again, this was during a time when Cartoon Network had a dark age, and this show is just bad. It's just bad. One of the characters is literally an ass. It's like it's a butt face, man. Like, come on, bro. Secret Saturdays. Okay, so this is weird. This show actually showed up a lot. Like Secret Saturdays was gonna become like the next Ben 10, and then it never did. I don't actually remember watching this show at all, to be quite honest with you. I don't think really anybody has ever talked about Secret Saturdays, because this show showed up and then it stopped showing up. Skunk Fu. I actually remember watching this show, even though you probably don't. It's fine. It is what it is. Squirrel Boy. Yeah, this show is bad. This show's kind of bad. Like, it's going to poopy doggy water. It's not fun. It's not really a show that like I see a lot of people look back fondly on, and I'm one of those people. It's not really anything special. I don't remember any characters. I don't remember anything. Like, this show is just kind of mediocre. Like, and at best mediocre. It's just not fun. It's just not a really good show. Star Wars: The Clone Wars. I'm gonna sound like a broken record, but this is a certified classic. This show got better as it went along, and it's It's great. It's wonderful. The Clone Wars is one of the best shows on Cartoon Network, period. And now it's not even really technically a Cartoon Network property. It's a Disney property now. But still, it's like season 7. That's amazing. Go watch the Clone Wars if you haven't. It's more than meets the eye. Static Shock. I don't even remember watching it on Cartoon Network. I think I watched it in like somewhere else. Static Shock is gonna be, but regardless, it's really good. Steven Universe. Okay, hot take. I don't really like this show. It was alright, and I think that's as high as it goes. It's gonna be alright with me. I respect a lot of the material that's like this show tackles. This show tackles really serious, subject matter. And I respect that. And, some of the characters are likable. I just have never bought into it. Like, I think a lot of it has to do with me. Maybe I'm not really the target demographic for it, because I was like kind of older than what the demographic should regularly be for Cartoon Network. But, it just wasn't it for me. It wasn't, like, it didn't click. I get it. A lot of people really do like the show, and I'm probably gonna get like dislikes, although I can't even see those because YouTube took it down. Summer Camp Island. What the hell is this? I've never watched this show. Looks shit though. The art style looks terrible. SWAT Cats, dude. SWAT Cats is lit. SWAT Cats is like, it's one of those shows that show up on Boomerang. Why did they cancel it though? Because it was so cool. It looked expensive to animate, but like, it's so dope. It has no reason to be as dope as it is. It's going in like really good. If they continued it, if they didn't cancel it, then it's probably going into like classic. If they didn't cancel it, Symbionic Titan. This is a show also created by Gennady Tartakovsky that also got canceled. You're noticing a trend here. Every show on this network gets canceled when it picks up, and this show is getting good, and then it got canceled. It's going into for what I watched. I wish it got more seasons, but knowing Cartoon Network now, they're not really aiming for an older demographic. They want to go into the younger demographic now, so I can't really watch the show even if I wanted to. Teen Titans Go. Yeah, this show's shit. The original Teen Titans is a certified classic. Now, I get it. Even though this show was canceled, it's undeniably good. It's one of the best shows that have premiered on the network. Thundercats, never seen it, even though I heard a lot of people like it. Again, a show that was canceled way too soon. Because like Cartoon Network had their diaper filled. Time Squad. Who the fuck remembers Time Squad? Nobody remembers this show. Jesus Christ. Come on, Cartoon Network. The original Total Drama series. Okay, I actually watched every single episode. I remember the first season's really good. I liked the second season. World Tour was just alright with me. I didn't really like the fourth one with a bunch of new characters. The fifth one was just not it. Sixth one, I think it was the sixth one, yeah, with another. I was kind of interested. If it didn't kept going, it was probably gonna be my favorite. Ended up being my favorite show. I still wanted a season where all the campers go into space. I think that would be just like perfect. I think Like, because think about it, like, they could explore the solar system. One episode they could be going to Mars, other episode they can be going through the asteroid belt, another episode could be going on the rings of Saturn. It'd be dope. I love that. I love that. What? Take note, I'm giving you ideas, Teletoon. Write it down, Teletoon. The Redonkulous race. Oh yeah, because this is supposed to be technically a spinoff. It's like around the world, you know, except it's like total drama characters. It's alright. I could see like people enjoying it. Total Drama Rama. The show, again, we're putting characters that are like older, like they're supposed to be teens in the show and the original series, and now they dumbed it down to young, like toddlers, babies. They made them children, and it's just not good. It's poopy doggy water. Totally Spies, a show where like there's so many people that got their fetish from this show. Like, Jesus, man. Take your pick. Inflation, furries, they got a bunch of stuff I can't even think about. Like, that's how fetishized this show is. Oh my god, yeah. Vora probably was one of them. I wouldn't be surprised, yeah. Transformers, the animated series. I remember actually watching this right before going... This is one of those shows I remember watching right before I went to school. Like, I remember getting invested, and then I remember watching it the next day, and then there was another episode, and it was just dope. It was a cool time to be alive. I don't remember anything from this show, though. It's going in decent, alright. I remember getting invested, though, so... Uncle Grandpa? Yeah, this show was bad. It's better than... It's made by the same person that made Secret Mountain Fort Awesome, and it's just not good. Victor and Valentino? This is like one of the newer shows. I've never watched it. It looks interesting, though. I might be compelled one day. Villainous, that one show Tumblr is non-stop obsessed about. It looks... I've never watched the show. I've seen a lot of fan art, though. You guys are something else. We Bare Bears. I like We Bare Bears. We Bare Bears is fun. We Bare Bears is sweet. It's a nice comfort show. It's a nice, cute comfort show. What's new, Scooby-Doo? Coming after you. Gonna solve that mystery. See you, Scooby-Doo. The trail leads back to you. What's the Scooby-Doo? That's the best theme song Cartoon Network has ever put out. Hands down, the best theme song in Scooby-Doo and also in Cartoon Network history. Yeah, I'm gonna put it in certified classic. I don't think anyone's gonna get mad at me for that, because this is the Scooby-Doo that I grew up with. Young Justice. Okay, so I know technically I think the show is still airing. So what do I do here? Because like, I don't think it's fair to judge a show when it's still airing and it's like still going on. So technically, I just say I haven't seen it because I haven't seen the new seasons yet. I remember liking a few, like the first few seasons. I just haven't gotten into the newer ones. Annoying Orange, fuck this show. Poopy Doggy Water. If you want to watch Annoying Orange, you can watch it on the YouTube channel. Does Annoying Orange even upload any videos anymore? Like I swear the last time I watched a video was like 2014 or something. I don't know. They still upload? What the hell? Oh god, Squid Game. Oh Jesus. They still upload after all this time? Hero 108. I don't think anyone remembers this show. This showed up and it just kind of blipped, showed up. And you know what? I kind of liked it. I kind of liked it because it was interesting. It was like, for those that don't know, it's about, I mean, I don't really remember that much, but I kind of, from what I do remember, it's pretty good. It was like focused on a bunch of people with powers. Like it was like its own group of people that had like powers, and they were heroes. It was kind of cool. I'll put it on right, decent. Batman the Animated Series. I've never watched the show on Cartoon Network. I'd watched it like through other means that I will not say. this is one of the greatest cartoon shows, one of the greatest shows, period, ever made. And it's going in certified classics. I mean, everything about the show is just iconic. The theme, the art style, the characters, Batman himself, the villains. I mean, it's just everything. It just exudes iconography. It's amazing to see, to look at. And not to mention they got the top story. Like these stories are classic. Like we wouldn't have Harley Quinn if it wasn't for this show, and we wouldn't have developed Mr. Freeze into the character that he is now if this show did not exist. Because I think beforehand he was just kind of a like a standard Batman villain with no backstory, and this show flushed him out in a tragic yet beautiful way that made him sympathetic and more than just one-dimensional. And to round this list out, we have Superman the animated series. Not as good as Batman the animated series, but it's still pretty solid. It's one of the best representations of Superman outside of the comics. I'd put it around there. It's fine. So yeah, that's my entire list of all the Cartoon Network shows. If you guys want me to do like any other tier list, like I could probably do a Nickelodeon tier list or a Disney tier list, because I love doing these tier lists. I love sharing my thoughts on certain things in a tier list setting where I can kind of rank each of them by how good they are or how bad they are, and maybe give you guys some recommendations. So thank you guys, and have a good day.